2 judges, including the one presiding over the Senzo Meyiwa trial, have been suspended. In fact, the Judicial Services Commission has recommended that Tshifiwa Maumela and Nomonde Mngqibisa-Thusi be suspended. Now, the move follows mounting complaints over delays in delivering judgments. Joining us via Zoom is Alison Tilley from Judges Matter. Alison, a very good afternoon, and thank you so much for making time for us. Let's get firstly just your reaction on these suspensions.
Well, I think what we know is that both of these judges have had outstanding judgments for some time, and putting them in a position where they're not taking on any new matters and only dealing with the matters that they're currently involved in will mean that the people who have been waiting for judgments will get them sooner rather than later.
Alison, according to the latest reserve judgment report for the Chief Justice as of 31 December last year, if I'm correct, there were 184 judgments outstanding for at least 6 months in court. In total, 904 judgments were reserved last year alone. Please elaborate.
Well, what happens is that when a matter is finalized, the judge is expected, in terms of the norms and standards, to hand down a judgment within 3 months. Now, that's quite a tight deadline, although it is in the norms and standards. And but what you can do is then ask for an extension, and you can hand down the judgment within 6 months if you have had an extension. It seems to be once we get beyond 6 months that I think the problem arises. And there are judges who have judgments outstanding for a long time. And that, of course, creates tremendous difficulty for the people who went to those courts. So if you have a custody dispute that needs to be decided, or whether or not an insurance company should pay out your claim or not, these are very important things for people, and delays that go on for months and years are really, it really is not acceptable.
In the same vein, Alison, then I should perhaps ask you this. I mean, should there be a recommendation, if you will, for more judges to be suspended?
I thought you were going to say a recommendation for more judges. And that is actually what I think we're running into difficulties with, is that the number of judges hasn't changed, and the number of courts has, but we're in a situation where judges are really overwhelmed and are working in difficult circumstances. So yes, we all have load shedding, but when a court has load shedding, the court recording machines stop. And so it's very difficult to go on in that situation, or the lights go off. Judges don't necessarily have access to the judgments that they need to make decisions. They don't have researchers. So I think there's a range of issues that we really need to deal with in order to make sure that we tackle the problem at source, rather than trying to crack down harder and harder on the judges that we do have.
So we need more judges, is what I'm hearing you say, Alison. What about reserve judgments by judges that even went on to retire before concluding cases? Most of them white, yet, unless, and we didn't hear about them, they were not suspended. Perhaps you could give me some clarity on that.
Well, I think there's been quite a significant change in the last 30 years in how we deal with judges. It's been a rough road, because you'll remember Judge President Hlophe, Judge Mutata. There have been a number of cases in which the system for dealing with judges and conduct matters, they've been changed and challenged in terms of their constitutionality. So it's only really in the last 3 or 4 years that we've got more certainty as to exactly how the system is supposed to work. So in some ways, seeing these matters it's actually a consequence of the system working rather than the system not working, because we now have a situation where judges who are not keeping up, maybe have health issues, that we can actually press pause and then deal with those concerns.
Alison, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. That was Alison Tilley from Judges Matter getting her reaction on the suspended judges. We're going to move on to this now.